This motel has a thing for clowns, and I don't just mean a few. We're talking over 6,000 of them. They're perched on shelves, they hang from the walls, they stare out from behind glass cases. But the stories say that after midnight, they're not the only ones watching you. They say the dead from the graveyard right next door like to come and visit. I came here to see if those stories are true. I really should have just stayed home. I'm standing in what many people call America's scariest motel. And it's not just because of the thousands of painted faces staring at you from every single corner. It's about where it is. This is the world-famous Clown Motel in Tonopah, Nevada, and it literally stands guard over the old Tonopah Cemetery. We're talking about a plot of land filled with the bodies of silver miners who were killed in a terrible fire, and hundreds of townspeople who died from some kind of mysterious plague. The legends say those spirits don't exactly rest easy. They say they just cross the little dirt path that separates the living from the dead and wander these exact halls. Tonight, I'm not just visiting. I'm staying the night. My goal is simple: survive until morning and capture real proof that this place isn't just creepy, it's genuinely haunted. The second you step into the lobby, the sheer number of clowns is just suffocating. There are more than 6,000 of them now, sent in from all over the world. Some are smiling, some are crying, but most of them just have this blank, unnerving stare. It honestly feels like 1,000 pairs of eyes are tracking your every single move. But the real horror of this place isn't in the lobby. It's right next door. The old Tonopah Cemetery is just a few feet from the motel rooms. It was started back in 1901 and was completely full only 10 years later. It's the final resting place for the town's first residents, and a lot of them died tragically. In 1902, a sickness they called the Tonopah Plague ripped through the mining camp. It was a strange, aggressive pneumonia that, for some reason, only seemed to attack grown men. They died fast, and it was brutal. Then, in 1911, another tragedy struck. A fire broke out deep inside the Belmont mine. 17 men were trapped by the smoke and flames. One of them, a man named William Big Bill Murphy, became a local hero. He went down into the toxic smoke twice, carrying his co-workers to the surface. On his third trip down, he never came back. His last words were supposedly, "Well, boys, I've made 2 trips and I'm nearly all in, but I'll try again." He and the men he tried to save are buried just over there. The motel itself has a direct, tragic link to that cemetery. It was built back in 1985 by the children of a local man named Clarence David. Clarence's own father was a miner who died in an accident, and he's buried in that very cemetery. To honor their dad, who loved clowns, his children built this motel next to his father's graveyard and used it to display his personal collection of 150 clown dolls. So, right from the start, this place was tangled up with the dead next door. Some people think the clowns are more than just dolls, that they act as empty vessels for the restless spirits of the miners to inhabit. They gave me the key to room 108. It's known for being one of the most active rooms in the whole motel. Today, it's all themed out like Stephen King's It, with a terrifying painting of Pennywise grinning at you from the wall. But the room's haunted reputation started long before that. The story goes that a former manager was actually living in this room. One night, he got really sick and tried to use the phone to call the front desk for help. He could hear it ringing on his end, a promise of help just seconds away. But for some reason, the call never connected at the desk. He died before anyone could get to him. Guests who have stayed in this room have reported their belongings moving on their own, seeing shadowy figures in the corners, and just getting that unmistakable feeling of being watched. Setting up my equipment now, the air in here just feels heavy. I've got my cameras positioned to cover the whole room. I have my EMF meter, which picks up on changes in the electromagnetic field spikes, can supposedly mean a spirit is present. And then there's this, a spirit box. It scans through radio stations really fast, creating white noise that spirits can supposedly use to speak. The plan is simple. Wait for it to get completely dark, and then try to make contact. Before it gets totally dark, I have to see this cemetery for myself. The sun is setting over the Nevada desert, casting these long, creepy shadows over the old, weathered headstones. It is unnervingly quiet out here. From almost anywhere in the graveyard, you can see the motel, a bright, almost cheerful reminder of the world of the living. It's pretty easy to see why people believe the spirits wander from here right into those rooms. Paranormal investigators have been coming here for years, and many of them claim to have recorded disembodied voices on their gear whispers that say things like "we mined and we died that day." I pull up my EMF meter as I walk between the graves. It's mostly quiet, just a low, steady green light. But as I get closer to a section of graves marked with the year 1911, the year of the Belmont fire, it starts chirping. The light flashes from green to yellow, then orange. I'm not saying anything, I'm just walking. But it feels like something knows I'm here. That energy, that feeling of being watched, you just can't deny it. As the last sliver of sun disappears behind the mountains, I feel a sudden, intense drop in temperature. It's time to go back inside. Okay, it is pitch black outside now. The only light in room 108 is the faint glow from my gear. It's dead silent. The kind of quiet that makes every tiny creak of the building sound like a footstep. I'm starting with the spirit box. A moment of silence. Is there anyone in this room with me? The box cycles through static. Bits of music and talk radio flash by. Then, a faint but clear voice cuts through it. Hello, my heart just jumped into my throat. It was as clear as day. The voice sounded deep male. It felt like it came from right beside me, not out of the little box. It's the same word the Ghost Adventures crew caught when they investigated here. Who is speaking? Are you the manager who died in this room? Static. Nothing. I try again. Are you one of the miners from the cemetery? Again, the box crackles. A different voice this time. It sounds weaker, but I can still make it out. Here, all of a sudden, the EMF meter on the nightstand screams to life, flashing bright red. The temperature in the room plummets. I can literally feel the goosebumps on my arms. I am not alone. I am definitely not alone. I just sit in the silence for a minute listening, and then I hear it. A slow, deliberate creak from the door. I know I locked that door. I have it on camera. But it's slowly swinging open, just an inch. My breath catches. I'm staring into the dark hallway, half expecting to see someone standing there, but there's nothing. Just an empty, silent corridor. People talk about doors opening and closing on their own here all the time, but experiencing it yourself is something else. It feels like an invitation, or maybe a warning. I am genuinely terrified right now. If you think this is scary, you have to hit that subscribe button, because the night is just getting started, and you won't believe what I captured next. Go to the comments right now and tell me, would you have the guts to spend a night in the Clown Motel. Just as I start to think things have finally calmed down, a loud bang hits the wall, right behind the Pennywise painting. It's so loud it sounds like someone slammed their fist against it from the other room. My whole body jolts. I check the hallway. It's empty. I look outside. Nothing but the desert wind. I decide I'm going to do one last spirit box session before I even try to get some sleep. If there's a spirit here, can you tell me your name? The box crackles, almost violently. A string of syllables pushes through, fast and angry. Get out, there is no mistaking that one. It wasn't just noise, it was a direct, intelligent response. The whole feeling in this room has shifted. It's no longer just an eerie presence, it feels hostile. Heavy, like my questions have really agitated something. I'm packing up the spirit box. I've pushed my luck enough for one night. I lie down on the bed, but I leave the cameras running. My eyes are glued to the darkest corner of the room, where I can't shake the feeling that something is standing. That's when I remember the stories people tell. The ones about waking up in the middle of the night to find a 7-foot-tall clown apparition standing at the foot of their bed, just watching them. Sleep is impossible now. Every shadow is playing tricks on my eyes. Every gust of wind sounds like a whisper just outside the door. Finally, after what feels like a lifetime, the first hint of dawn breaks through the window. As the sun rises, that oppressive energy in the room seems to lift with it. I made it through the night. Looking back at the footage now, I'm just floored. The evidence is undeniable. That clear voice saying hello on the spirit box. The door creaking open all on its own. The unexplained bang on the wall. And that final, chilling command to get out. I came to the Clown Motel wondering if the stories were just hype. A clever way to sell a quirky, creepy motel theme. I'm leaving with the chilling certainty that this place is a hotbed of paranormal energy.